Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmakers getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies then. Welcome, guys, to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's time to eat, as we have Ribeyes with Mike to hold you over on hitting props, as well as the pitching props we talked. We already got 2 bets locked in, and we're waiting for a few more lineups, guys, so it's going to be a great day on this Tuesday. This show ain't sponsored by no one, as we're doing this out of our own generosity, so I do appreciate those that have found their way over. As smash that like if you haven't already, as this show is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Today, guys, we're going to start the show right off talking hitting props. Not just any hitting props, though. We have Ribeyes with Mike. Some know him as Pimp Slap. I know him as the last Megalodon.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
Yeah.
Tell me that don't make you laugh. Bro, chilling. We now actually got a hardwired connection, so I can actually talk to you, and you don't have to be like, is he done? Is he done? But, yeah, I know you got an appointment and all that, my boy, so let's just get to what you do best and talk us a little hitting props.
Well, I appreciate you accommodating my my schedule there. I felt bad. Like right after I said I'm good to go, I get the message that they can see me. I'm like, all right, I got to make this happen. So shout out to you, Sharpie. You're the man for being flexible. I know it's not easy sometimes, and I appreciate that, man. Shout out to LJ from H-Town and all you guys up there in the chat watching our guy Sharpie do what he does out there. Man, listen, support our guy. Listeners supported at its finest, coming out here on the regular, giving it to you out of the goodness of his heart. And we're here to support our guy Sharpie too. So let's get after it, you guys. We did get ourselves a nice little 3-bopper last week here. So we're starting to heat up a little bit, starting to see the board more clearly, Sharpie. And this is that time of year. In fact, year over year, last year, the first RBI that I put out there was May 10th. So here we are now, May 7th. We're right in the window here. Happy anniversary to everybody that's
I don't want to say anything, but that's my birthday.
May 10th. My guy, how about that? How about that? We'll keep it on the low just between you, me, the chat, and everybody else that watches this stream here. Happy pre-birthday to our guy Sharpie. Let's see if we can't make birthday a little more green, my guy. Let's get into this cash and talk about how we're getting paid.
Let's talk about it, bro. You know what you're doing, so I'll let you go.
I'm rolling right off the hop here. I gave this one out earlier today. This is my favorite spot of the day. Combination, you guys know it's my guy. I'm a sucker for Kyle Tucker, and I love this price. We got great hitting conditions, wind blowing pretty much right down the straw, right out the pipe. And we got about a 75-degree day when we get to, first pitch here. Conditions being favorable. What we know is we've got heel out there. And this guy has been kind of pitching outside of his expectations here. He started out pretty tremendous. Think about this guy when you look at this pitching versus batter matchup here, and I know you'll get into it. It's not my forte. All I know is he likes to earn strikeouts, but he's got 20 walks in 31 innings. The Astros are the lowest strikeout rated team in Major League Baseball against righties. We got a fly ball guy going out there against a guy in Kyle Tucker who likes to put the bat on the ball. He's in the 2-hole, and he's priced at plus 185. It's just stupid. You know, we got Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez. If I had to pick two, I'm going your daddy as the second, but since I'm trying to trim it down, keep it to one and one favorable opportunity only. Give me Kyle Tucker, man. This is my guy. He's been loyal to me. I, in turn, will be loyal to him. And plus 185 out there, playing on a regression factor with hitting conditions at Yankee Stadium. Not necessarily saying the Astros win this game, but Kyle Tucker should be an important element to this offense, especially if the bottom of that order gets some bases on, and heaven forbid he'll get himself a little regression right off the hop. Let's go, Sharpie. Kyle Tucker, baby. Number one plus 185.
Man, if we need to keep track of how many times we play Kyle Tucker and cash with him, because that you are a sucker for Kyle Tucker.
I got
the tickets. You wouldn't even fucking talk about him again. You'd be like, "Fuck that guy, I hate him." Nah, he's done so well, he get a name.
And they keep making these numbers. Just I think it's a lot of what has to do with what Houston bats have been doing. So we're trying to kind of exploit some of these opportunities where I just don't think the books have the numbers made out at the appropriate setting. And I'll go to this one here with this next game up. Speaking of not having the right numbers on this thing, give me this Brewers and Royals matchup. I've been cashing with both of these teams, frankly, totals, sides, and some player prop opportunities. But I'm going to dig in here and I'm going to go deeper. Normally, we don't like to transition past that 5 spot, but I'm looking at the 6 and I'm looking at the Royals here. And I guess, you look at this thing. I want to exploit Colin Ray. Give me this guy. Let me just put the bat to the back of this guy's head. We got, obviously Bobby Witt. We got Vinny P out there, are guys that are priced at plus 120s. And they probably should be in the second hole and the third spot out there. Then he got Salvi Perez. Lots of favorable opportunities with those guys. But whose bat has come to life? And I don't want to miss it. Feel like that Michael Busch train in Chicago. We might have missed it a little bit there. Kind of caught a couple at the end. But this guy is red hot in the middle of an opportunity where he's got 7 RBIs in his last 7 days. 6 games account for that sample. He's hitting just over 1 RBI a spot, 22 at-bats, and a hitter-friendly ballpark here. I want to take advantage of Michael Massey, a lefty against Colin Ray out there. We know what Colin Ray's certainly been having himself a pretty phenomenal season, but where does he get a little loose? Lefties, and not just a little loose, a lot of loose. So at plus 185 for me, I want to take advantage of Michael Massey. I think it's 6 spot. Not overly excited about that, but this thing's priced for runs. Again, hitter-friendly ballpark. And, albeit it's going to be in the 80s when that first pitch goes off. So, balls should be traveling out there, and I think we do see the opportunity. We've seen quite a few unders, but we know when the Royals get loose, it can get wild, and the things can get out there. Brewers bats certainly are capable of going off as well. I like hitting on both sides of this one, but Michael Massey at plus 185 is too good to let up. Let's roll on, Sharpie.
Keep it rolling, my boy. Keep it rolling.
Let's go out here.
Lineup while you're talking.
Yeah, man, I'm a little out of order with the card here today. I had to get this stuff in, so you guys, the research be there. Just don't fault me for not being in exact betting order here. But let's go to this Marlins and Dodgers game. Look at this price tag, minus 327 for the LA Dodgers out there, and rightfully so. We saw yesterday I was all over them Dodgers, minus 1.5, minus 2.5, minus 3.5, even up to minus 4.5. And all of a sudden, the Marlins come out with a quick 2-0 lead. I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? But the Dodgers got it done. They were able to cover some extended run lines for me, and we made cash. But who's been struggling is our guy, Eddie Cabrera with a 6+ earned run average. Struggling. His last game on his home turf, by the way. 4 innings, he allowed 4 home runs and walks. And you look at this guy's body of work as of late. He goes out there 4 innings, as I mentioned, 4 earned runs against Colorado. He's playing Washington. He's got 4 innings, 5 earned runs against Washington. He plays the Cubs. He's got 5 innings, 3 earned runs out there. This guy just dishes them up. His bright spot April 15th against the San Francisco Giants. It was a 4-3 game. He only let up one earned run, but that's because San Francisco hasn't been putting runs on the board here. I'm going to jump in. Not overly excited about, this. I don't want to say it's lower in the juice category here, but the LA Dodgers are heating up right now. They're smashing righties at a really reasonable clip. And here comes Freddie Freeman. Freddie F, baby. 3-hole for us behind Shohei and Mookie. As long as them boys don't just go out there and keep going yardstick here, one of them should be on base. Freddie should be able to pop him home across the finish line. And he's priced in the sweet spot at 145, Sharpie. 145 for Freddie Freeball and Freeman out there. That's where we're going for the third Ribby of the day. And he's right in the sweet spot. I got 2 left, Sharpie. 2 more to keep this thing rolling. It's a 5-pack. It's a Tuesday 5-pack, Tomahawk Tuesday. And let's go up here to this Tampa Bay game here. Let's look at what's going on at Tropicana Field out there. Let me pull it up. And it's them White Sox. I'll tell you what, the read of the century. First of all, the White Sox in the first games of series, they're fades. Fade them. Also, they're unders. Their team total under cashed yesterday, under 3.5. Touch sweaty when they got that 2-run, I believe it was the second inning. But let's go after this thing here. Let's go after and attack Michael Soroka. This guy's a meatball, man, and he throws meatballs out there. At the end of the day, he's just not a good pitcher. All the stats, all the metrics, everything that goes into it. I'm looking at these numbers, and I'm trying to kind of forecast. I'm trying to project what these lines are looking at and telling us here. And when I look at this line, I see our 4 spot, and I see our guy Isaac Paradis at plus 130 sitting out there right now. And when I look at the metrics and how this game matches up, we got a guy in Soroka who is just not playing well from an OBA perspective. His strikeout rate being down as it is. His 6.1% swing to strikeout rate. I mean, this guy's he's just pitching to way too much contact. And you're going to give me Paradis at plus 130 with Josh Lowe, Randy Arozarena, and Yandy Diaz out there. The big opportunity here for this Tampa Bay team here, get this thing done. And you look at the recent performance, he's only got 1 RBI over his last week of performance here, but he's been walked a ton. So they're showing concern with this guy in the position that he has on the bat. At plus 130, I'm forecasting he does get the job done today. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him get 2+. Just because when you see this number, lack of perceived success or quantifiable number, that's just telling me that he's going to go wild today. He's going to get the job done and priced at plus 130. He'll be the lowest guy on the card for us, but doesn't mean it's not going to be good money out there. I think the Rays, clearly priced at minus 250, are going to kick the shit out of the White Sox. And, probably the last 3 games, I would say. 3, I think it's 3 on the dot, is when the Tampa Bay Rays bats have kind of shaken up and come to life. So good signs we want to be trying in front of the curve there, not trying to catch it too far after the fact. And I think this is a good price point for this young man who's had mediocre success at best. And we're going to capitalize with that one, Sharpie. Last guy on the board. Last guy on the menu. It's like if you go to them Brazilian steakhouses. Don't turn the rock over just yet, baby. We're staying green. And we're going to attack this Minnesota Twins Seattle Mariners spot, Sharpie. Keep that green rock on the table as we go to try to capitalize. And I am definitely taking a piece of this Uber opportunity. Uber used to be an under. He's becoming over for me. It seems to me like this guy, just hard to predict exactly what he's going to do. But let's look at hitting conditions. These hitting conditions will mirror Coors Field tonight. It's going to be temps that are favorable. We're going to have them sitting out there with low barometric pressure readings out there. Shout out to my boy that gave me some of that info. And, you see over 31 innings, only 4 home runs, but who's mashing the ball out there for the Seattle Mariners? The number 1 home run guy on the lineup is Cal Raleigh. We've been a part of him. We've had some Ty France in there. We've been kind of up and down the lineup. We haven't gone overly favorite, but we will take Cal Raleigh in that 5 position out there. He can hit both ways. And that's, I think, a favorable opportunity for him to try to get this thing right. Also, you hear the old narrative, the styles make the fights, Sharpie. What happens here? We got a fly ball guy hitting over 50% fly ball rate and belly over. And what do we have from a batting perspective? We got a guy in Cal Raleigh that likes to hit the fly ball. And we're trending upward with Raleigh right now. We talked about this last week, trying to find these guys that have had some couple of years of a career in Major League Baseball, and they're trending on top of their numbers from year over year right now. The barrel rate for Cal Raleigh, the hardest hit this year, and he's pulling more fly balls than he ever has out there. And look, he's behind Mitch Haniger. Mitch Haniger's the 4 spot, but 500 in that 4 spot against Uber out there. To me, says that guy's going to be on base. Somebody should be on base in front of our guy, Cal Raleigh. And that's how we get paid when it comes to the RBI game. Everyone's hitting 500 on Uber when you look at the bulk of that lineup for the Seattle Mariners, except Cal Raleigh. And I think that ends today. 3 at-bats, no hits, no home runs, no RBIs. Time to regress to the means here. Let's get some meat on the bone at plus 165. That's how we're going to finish off the day. You can turn the rock over now. It's red. We're full. Let's get some of that K-prop dessert, baby.
Yeah, man. I put every freaking bet you put out into the chat for anybody who's just showing up and wants to know which 5 bets Mike is on today. We got a couple plus 180s. We know it ain't 280, but 180, that'll work, guys. That'll work. Let's be real. So appreciate you, Mike, as always. I know you got an appointment to get off and go to. Let these people know what you got going on and where they can find you.
Well, yeah, Sharpie, I appreciate you as always, my guy. Every Tuesday, you know I'm good for this thing, man. Even if I got to pre-record, I will give you guys the ribeyes that we like here the most on Tuesdays. And it's time to heat up. We're 3 days shy of our guy's birthday, and this is the time last year that we came to life. So appreciate everybody rocking with us. Again, listeners, support my guy Sharpie out there. Hit that thumbs up. Let him know where you're watching the best damn prop show in the business here with our man. And pre-happy birthday, Sharpie. I'll be around this week on Last Call, 6 p.m. Eastern over on Pub Sports Radio. You guys know where to find me. We'll be talking Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL's playoff season, Sharpie. You know, some of us had some nice plus
playoffs.
Talking to me about playoffs, Sharpie. My guy, happy pre-birthday. I appreciate you being flexible for me. And I'll see you soon, brother.
Yes, sir.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
All right, fellas, we got a lot of talking to do. We got 6 pitchers to talk about. And mind you, the first person I'm going to talk about, I did a lot of the write-up last night, and then we got this lineup that came out that has really not a lot to do with it. So let's talk about it. We got 2 bets locked in. And yeah, Jose Berrios at the Phillies, striking people out just 18.5% of the time while walking people 7.5% on the year. Morning line was 5.5 plus 115 on DraftKings. Best line available now is 5.5 plus 115 on MGM. It has gone down, juiced money. It has gone back up. It's gone down. It's gone up. All types of movement in this. A lot of under money, not too much over money. But I'll give you some over money. Pitching outs is 17.5, minus 140 it opened at. It's now at minus 115. It's probably gone up with the lineup since it came back out. Earn runs is at 2.5, minus 125 to the over. Projected lineup was 5 righties and 4 lefties. Nah. We got a moving day lineup. It is now 6 lefties and 3 righties. Berrios, guys, has been really, really good to us as we've cashed his K-prop unders as well as his overs as well as his outs and stayed off of them a game where the key I used that said under, but the past history said over. And if the books respect past history, so do I. So as always, let's go check the past history as it shows only 3 guys in this projected lineup with at least 6 at-bats. But let's be real. No way did the Phillies. They weren't going to leave out Merrifield, guys, who is batting over 500 versus Berrios and has only struck out 3 of his 51 at-bats. And then they put him in the 2-hole, so the kid ain't striking out. And then the other guys that have seen him, guys, is Marsh and Schwarber, who are in the 1 and 3 hole, who they've only punched out 1 of their 6 at-bats, with Castellanos being the guy who's seen him 15 times and struck out a third of his at-bats. So let's go see the way the key goes on this lineup, guys, is I have made up with Merrifield in it for Sosa, as we've got 5 guys in this projected lineup who are considered elite at making contact when they chase. And Schwarber and Marsh, guys, are not good at making contact. They're considered bums when you look at the analytics and the metrics. So they go say, but you're going to have people who are going to go tell you, he's only struck out them 1 out of 6. That was Bummios that did that. If you've watched the show for years, Jose Bummios was a bum. He had a talk with Pedro Martinez last year at the beginning of the year, and he has become another man. Chase contact has been money for me. This lineup was telling me it can go under, it can go over. I was looking to bet his outs. So at the end of the day, the lineup came out. All the other bullshit that I wrote up doesn't mean a damn thing. And from me wanting to go, waiting for a strikeout prop to adjust, because I was like, as soon as I see Merrifield, people are going to freaking hammer the under. And that's when I got in, guys. I got 5.5 at plus 110. I believe there is a plus 115 out there. I give out the number I get. I don't give out some solid ass weenie. And it's because we have 6 guys in this lineup, guys that are not good at making contact when they chase. Only 3 of them are considered good. They sat Baum. They sat Rojas. Those are 2 guys that are considered elite when it's coming to making contact when they chase. Nah. This ain't the normal Phillies lineup. As well as Trey Turner being on the IL, we've got 6 guys that we could pick on. That's 2/3 of the lineup. 2/3 of the lineup say they don't make contact when they chase. That means I'm going over with Jose Berrios. Over 5.5 at plus 110. Next guy on the board is Zach Eflin versus the White Sox, striking people out 19.5% of the time. We're just walking them at 7.5%. Morning line was 5.5 plus 108 on FanDuel, where the best line available was at 5.5 minus 110 on BetMGM. Pitching outs opened at 17.5 minus 160 juice to the over. Now it's at minus 190. Earned runs is minus 1.5 minus 165 juice to the over. The lineup did come out, and it wasn't the projected lineup. They switched Pham for Ortega and put Ortega down and Pham out the 2-hole. So, yeah. Zach Eflin, guys, he's going to now get his second shot versus the White Sox in a 10-day span, where 2 weeks ago the projected lineup said over, and then we didn't get the projected lineup, so we stayed off, and Eflin went out there, went 6 innings, 4 earned runs, and had just 4 punch-outs. That was when his line was at a 5.5 that day, and it's right back where it was that day, and he's at a 5.5 today. And we look at these White Sox numbers. They're not walking. They're not hitting. They're only striking out 22% of their at-bats. And then we look at to run Eflin over, guys, we look for whiff. And so far this year, he has not had a favorable matchup when it comes to that. And this projected lineup sure as fuck not looking like an over, as yes, the projected lineup isn't it, but in the projected lineup, we had 7 guys in this lineup who have seen Eflin at least 5 times for a total of 57 times. And they're only striking out at a 19% clip. With 2 guys who haven't seen him and 1 who doesn't have enough bats in the majors to even look at what he does and doesn't struggle versus. So on top of the bad K percentage against, a past history for Eflin, we go look and see who whiffs in this lineup. And we only have 4 guys who whiff, with only 3 of the guys who are 2% worse than league average, and one of them being DeJong. So DeJong's supposed to struggle versus Eflin, but DeJong's only got 1 strikeout in his 10 at-bats, so he actually sees Eflin well, and that doesn't favor him. So they did take out Pham, guys. I was looking to bet this under, as with Pham and and Ortega or whoever they had at the time, I had the majority of the lineup not whiffing. Now we've got 5 guys who do whiff, 4 guys who don't. I do still lean the under, but I just didn't get there with my money. Is like I said, I want 2/3 of the lineup for the key. We got 2/3 of the lineup with Berrios. When I was actually looking towards the under or towards his outs, that write-up went a little sideways once that freaking lineup came out, because it was time to get in. And that's why we have keys, and that's why we do fucking lineup work. We don't just sit there and go, oh, this team striked out 27% of their at-bats. Nah. You find what fucking works, and you fucking run it. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah. All right. Let me get into the next guy. Shout out to the chat, guys. If you like what you hear, and smash that damn like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Now we got Shota Amagna versus the Padres, striking people out 26.5% of the time, while walking people just 3% on the year. Morning line 5+ minus 122 on FanDuel, where the best line available to that 5+ is at minus 128, and it's still on FanDuel. His pitching outs opened up 17.5 minus 155 to the over, whereas earned runs are at 2.5 minus 175 juice to the under. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Ah, man, do we got some smelly shit going on around these parts, fellas, as we get Shota versus the Padres, and they give us a 4.5 for his K prop, as he has played 6 games this year. 1 game got shortened due to rain, so let's just say he's played 5 games this year, and he is 4-1 to the over on his K prop, with never being less than a 5.5 all year. And we get a 4.5 bettable juice? Nah. Sharpie don't play that, guys. And to be honest, I couldn't wait to go under on the 5.5, but the book seemed to be keen to what at least I've picked up with these Padres. And there are ways to pick on these Japanese pitchers, guys. And there's ways to pick on the Padres. And the way to pick on the Padres, guys, is with a curveball. And Shota doesn't throw a curveball, as he's predominantly fastball split to righties and fastball slurve to lefties, as well as the Padres having something in their lineup that is the kryptonite of these Japanese pitchers, which is a whole lot of guys who swing at the first pitch, as we have 5 of the projected 9 who are 2% higher than league average when it comes to swinging at the first pitch, as well as 2 of the 4 guys that take their pitches being in the very bottom of the league in strikeout percentage in Luis Arias and Ha-Seong Kim, 2 of the best in the league guys at making contact when they do chase and working counts. Now, the number still does seem a tad bit low, even for the Padres, guys, as they have been really good versus lefties over the past 200 plate appearances. They're best in the league at walking, yet Shota don't walk people, so throw that shit out the window. Yet they're also top 4 in the league at only striking out 18% of their at-bats. Well, they're not really hitting the ball. And not hitting the ball could project Shota to be out there for 6 innings, which would make a under of any low number a sweat, especially if the Padres do really send out 3 lefties versus Shota. Now, I do believe this number is a tad low than what it should be. So we go check the weather, guys, and it shows a 50% chance of rain. So as we get closer to the game, I will run a weather radar of the stadium and see if they play today. But as of right now, when I did this write-up, it shows that around 5 p.m. Central Time, it clears up, and the game don't even start till 6:40 my time. So I expect this game to go off. The rain should be totally out of its way when it does play. At least when I looked earlier, it showed a storm early, then it went away, then a big storm, and then it goes away, and then it's gone. Gone meaning the game coming should be good to go tonight from what I checked earlier. But always check radars closer to the game with anything that can and does show rain, as Mother Nature, guys, is one son of a bitch. So the lean is under 4.5, guys. I can't get there with that number with 3 lefties, but ooh, the books seem to be wanting a whole lot of over money right here, guys, at putting it at that number. So nah. It's either under or nothing, and I'm not going to just go under because the books dropped it. I was hoping to get a 5.5 like he's been all year long, or a 6.5. He's been 6.5 versus some teams. Why now? They know. They know, guys. And that kryptonite I was talking about with the Padres is they swing first pitch. Look what they did to Yamamoto the first time they seen him, guys. They butchered that fool but he's a good pitcher. And the second time he seen him, he readjusted. But this is Shota's first time. He doesn't walk people. He's a strike thrower. And we got a bunch of guys who swing first pitch and make contact in the zone. Man, if he doesn't hit, I get what the books are doing right here. I get what the books are doing. Do me a favor, guys. If you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Cover King's talking about Gallon is the titty capper play of the day. I didn't even really look into Gallon because it showed a lot of rain, and I didn't want to fuck around with rain personally. But I did look into this guy, Kyle Harrison at the Rockies. Striking people out 24% of the time while walking people 6.5% on the year. Morning line is 5.5, minus 111 on FanDuel, where the best line available is minus 120 on DraftKings. Pitching outs is 15.5, minus 120 each way. Earned runs are at 2.5, minus 155 juice to the over. I get it. He's probably giving up 3 runs in at least 5 innings or so today. It's Colorado, and he's a fly ball pitcher. Projected lineup is 7 righties and 2 lefties. Kyle Harrison. He's been pretty good to us, guys, when the time has been called for him, as we talked about it, guys, as he's had some pretty tough matchups to start the year. His last 2 games have been good matchups, and he's gotten 7 strikeouts in each game, being the Pirates and the Red Sox. And now he gets another good matchup. As we know, the Rockies guys, like the Pirates, have been God's gift to K-prop overs, especially when running a lefty. As when we look at their numbers versus lefties, guys, over their last 200 plate appearances, they're not walking, they're not hitting, and they're striking out 25.5% of their at-bats. So this is a no-brainer, right, Sharpie? Not so right. If you've watched my show, you know I got rules. And one of them is if you ain't pitched an altitude of the Rockies before, then I can't start betting you until you prove to me or your stuff, prove to me that your stuff plays in thin air, as some pitches just don't break. Now, Harrison, guys, throws a four seam and a changeup and a slurve. As he's predominantly fastball changeup 90% of the time to right-handed batters and uses the slurve and changeup to lefties. Now, let me talk to you. That slurve ain't going to play. But it's not his go-to pitch, guys. And his fastball, he throws 65% of the time, with his changeup being his second most used pitch. Those two pitches will play just fine in Colorado. Let me tell you, guys, there's rules, and then there's also common sense. And that's why I'm better than those dudes who just look at numbers and only bet numbers, guys, because I know when to say, yeah, hey, whoa. Common sense says, you've watched baseball your whole life, Sharpie. You've watched Corbin Burns go into Colorado after he got torched one time, throw away every pitch but the fastball changeup, and you're like, whoa, those two pitches play. Those two pitches play. The altitude, guys, on a slurve, on a curve, it just don't break the way it's supposed to. Instead of, say, on a clock like yay, it's going to go fucking Frisbee status. So, end of the day, this dude has a great pitch mix. I go through this lineup, guys, and this lineup says, Sharpie. You may not have to wait and see if this guy can pitch in Colorado. You just need to wait and see if they give us this lineup. As I go through the projected lineup to see who struggles versus the fastball and changeup, when it comes to a changeup, we have 7 righties. 5 of them struggle versus the changeup, one being league average. The other doesn't have enough at-bats in the big leagues. As well as 6 people in this lineup struggle versus the fastball, with 4 who struggle versus both of his pitches. So, yeah, this is looking like it can be a day for Harrison, though, even though it will be his first game in altitude. Now, a day for his strikeouts. Like I said, guys, he is a fly ball pitcher, predominantly fastball, and it is Colorado. You can give up a couple runs, guys. So, at the end of the day, if they give me this pitch mix, guys, I will be looking to bet him over. As the only 2 lefties projected in this lineup are Blackman and McMahon. He wasn't going to get Blackman anyways. And McMahon you can get with a fastball if he just pounds the fastball to him. He's just got to learn early that the slurve don't play. But he don't throw that versus righties, guys. And we've got a predominant right-handed lineup, and most of those guys, well, actually none of them are good versus the changeup. One of them being league average, the rest whiff at terrible whiff rates versus the changeup, as well as 6 guys out of the 9 whiffing at a fastball. And then we've got 4 guys who whiff at both, where we can get 2 from them. So this can be a really big day for Harrison. 6 should be in the books, even if it is Colorado. So, yeah, definitely looking to bet me some Kyle Harrison once the lineups do come out. What's up, Guillermo, my boy? Shout out to the chat, guys. Looks like we got a bunch of people up in here today, guys. So do appreciate you all. If you haven't already, smash that like button and let's get to the money. Last I seen, Ria Multu is doubtful. I don't think he's in the lineup, bro. Like I was looking at this lineup, totally thinking, okay, I see the under, I see the over. I'm going back to Berrios real quick, Justin. And I was looking at it like, okay, this can go 5-6. Maybe I need to leave it be. And then they came out with that lineup, and I was like, who is Stubbs? Who is So yeah, definitely it's a moving day lineup for sure in Philadelphia. We've got 2 guys to still talk about, guys. We're looking for lineups to bet Kyle Harrison. We have bet Jose Berrios over 5.5 at plus 110. And we are going to talk about a guy that the line's moving against me, and I should have knew it at the beginning. I am better. I'm gonna say I am better because I know when the numbers say no, you don't gotta bet it until the end, because everyone who just looks at numbers is just gonna bet under, and I could have got a better number. But this is, once again, I give you the number I bet. I'm not here to sell you a pipe dream. And this number has moved against me. You can get like plus 125 now. Edward Cabrera at the Dodgers, striking people out this year 28.5% of the time, walking people. This ain't Edward Cabrera's number, so I must have didn't put his in. I know he's walking people at a stupid rate because let's just pull up his Fangraphs right here. Let's not give these people false stats, Sharpie. This is the walk machine himself. All right, striking people out 35.5% of the time this year, walking people 12%. But that is actually, guys, down 3% from last year. Give him some credit. Huh? Everybody wants to bash the kid. How about he's actually doing better than he was last year? All right, let's talk about it. Morning line was 5.5, minus 115 on DraftKings. You can now get plus 125 on DraftKings to that 5.5. Pitching outs is at 14.5, minus 185 juice to the over. Now it's at a minus 167. Opened at a minus 185. Earned runs opened at 2.5, minus 140 juice to the over. It is now minus 125 to the over. Projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. All right, guys. Edward Cabrera gets a shot at my Dodgers. And we know the books look at numbers, and the Dodgers numbers are out of this world. All right, hold on. I had to slap myself. Just reread what you wrote, Sharpie. You knew not to bet this guy until everybody bet the under. You could have got a better number. Look what you just fucking said. Ooh. All right, guys, back to it, guys. And we know the books look at the numbers, and the Dodgers numbers are out of this world. Best in the league in walk percentage, best in the league in not striking out, best in the league in isolated power. And I'm going to tell you, I want me some Cabrera today. I say, don't play many strikeout props versus my Dodgers over the years. But when I do, knock on wood, you know, it's what you got to do. It's been really good to me, guys. If I've come across by watching my team over the years, we struggle versus high velocity. And in their numbers, guys, and all year long, they haven't faced a right-handed pitcher in my black book that throws 95 or higher. Edward Cabrera throws 96 with a nasty changeup. It's called a power change because that's 92 miles per hour with nasty fade, as well as a wipeout slider and a nasty curve, guys. As the Dodgers did see Munoz last night, they did get to him. And that dude does have some high velocity, but he's not in the black book for a reason. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. And the guy still ended up with 5 strikeouts while getting knocked around when the Dodgers were able to just sit on one pitch and throw the other pitch in the trash can. Yet a 2-pitch pitcher with high velocity had 5 strikeouts last night. You cannot sit on a pitch with Cabrera as he throws 3 pitches to lefties and 4 to righties, guys. And now there's always a chance Cabrera can walk himself into trouble. As through the years, like we said, guys, he does carry a high walk percentage next to his name. And the Dodgers are walking. But even with that high walk percentage, I can't ignore what my team struggles versus. And in the game last year, when Cabrera seen us, he went 4 innings, no runs, walked 2, struck out 8 on just 72 pitches. So it's there, guys. As we've talked about it for years. My Dodgers have took the Freddie Freeman approach. It is, we will sit on 92-mile-per-hour fastballs. That way we can get to 92 and anything breaking we can get our hands to. A la the Braves who just sit back and hit for power and strike out versus high heat or hit for power. The Dodgers have struggled for years versus high heat. They struggle versus velocity. And that's been one of the main reasons why we get tossed out of the playoffs early. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but all you see is gas in the playoffs, guys. You don't see these soft tossers, all right? The Dodgers haven't seen a dude who throws gas yet this year. It's something I always pull out my back pocket when going versus the Dodgers, and they're getting some gas today. So, Edward Cabrera, don't walk yourself out of trouble. You look for big moments, kid. Nothing bigger than this Dodgers stadium, Dodgers lineup at Chavez Ravine at nighttime. Give me Edward Cabrera over 5.5 strikeouts, and I got in at minus 111. And like I said, yes, I know the line moved against me. I don't fucking care. It's people that are looking at the numbers like, the Dodgers don't strike out. The Dodgers walk. Yes, if I lose, it's because of the walk percentage. But even if he walks people, there's 5 lefties in this lineup where this guy over the last 2 years has dominated lefties better than he has righties, and he's smoked righties, guys. So I'm not worried. He's got what I look for when I watch my team and what we struggle versus. So give me Edward Cabrera over 5.5 strikeouts, please, and thank you. Then we go to the next guy on the board, Yoshi Yamamoto versus the Marlin. Striking people out 6. That's not him. How the hell? How did this not get saved? Yoshi don't strike people out 60% of the time. But thank God I got every fan graphs pulled up as I'm pulling out the numbers. So, yeah, Yoshi, what a little bum. Tried to give me wrong stats too, but we know this guy strikes people out 30% of the time and only walks people 5.5% on the year. Morning line was 6.5, even money. Best line 6.5, minus 106 on FanDuel. Pitching outs opened up 17.5, minus 140 juice to the over, and now it's minus 200. Earn runs 1.5, minus 150 juice to the over as well. Projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. We end the day, guys, with the other side of the bump. Yamamoto versus the Arias-less Marlins. As they lost the one guy books will move a line for when they traded him to the Padres earlier this week. So it's hard to pay attention to their overall K percentage without Arias in the lineup. Yet in the numbers, guys, if you watch this show, you know what I've been using to run K prop overs with Yoshi. As I look for guys who don't swing first pitch, because if you want to go down 0-1 to this man, you're in trouble, as he has 2 put-away pitches, and he will use them versus both sides. Now, when I run this projected lineup, we have 8 guys who swing first pitch with just 1 league average. That's not what I'm looking for, guys. Now, can he still hit it? Yes. But 3 of the 5 games this year where he didn't hit his K prop over were versus lineups who swing first pitch. And where he has hit the over every time, guys, was versus a lineup who wanted to be patient. And that's not what we have here. So before I just throw them out, let's dig a little deeper and see who actually makes contact in the zone of these guys. Because if you're swinging first pitch and you can't make contact, then it ain't going to hurt us. Where the D-backs and Padres, where he faced, guys, the first time Padres, he didn't hit. Second time he hit D-backs, he didn't. So he's 1-2 to the over versus teams who do swing first pitch and who do make great contact when they chase. So I go check the projected lineup, guys, and it's doable to the over. I just don't think it will be as easy as it just straight sounds, guys, as I got him for 5.5 strikeouts on a bad day. As we have 5 guys who don't make contact in the zone when they do swing, with 2 being league average. So he does got action at 7 guys who do swing at the first pitch because they're not really freaking hitting the damn ball. So then we go through, guys, the ones who do make contact when they chase him, and we are down to just 4 who don't make contact in the zone, as well as not making contact when they chase. So he's going to have action, guys, at 4 guys at least twice. He's going to have action at 7 guys, as well as probably going at least freaking 6 innings. So Yoshi is either over or nothing, and I don't run him over if I don't got what I'm looking for. And what I look for with him is guys that are patient. So can he hit the over? Yes. It's over or nothing right here, especially with how many guys don't make contact when they do swing in the zone. So he throws strikes. He's a strike thrower, guys. And this team, yeah, they do swing first pitch, but unlike the other teams that where he didn't hit, these teams straight miss shit in the zone, where the Padres and the Diamondbacks, they hit balls in the zone and they are good at making contact when they chase. So appreciate you all for tuning in, guys, to the Balking Dead. We have 2 bets in so far. We have Cabrera over 5.5 minus 111. It has moved against me. I don't give a damn. And then I'm on Jose Barrios over 5.5 at plus 110. I'm waiting on lineups for Kyle Harrison, as well as looking for lineups on one other person. So if I pull the trigger on anybody else today, I will tweet it out. And yeah, until next time, smash that like button. Let's stay hot, fellas, and let's keep the money rolling in.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.